morning, Vikings. Oh, I'm going to tell you a story today with a lesson in it, if you can dig it out. I went yesterday to a prepper fest. That's my words. I can't remember exactly what they called it. Prepper Expo or something. Put on, sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. And I had been to one before where I learned one thing there at the one I went to before, which is another story about fitness, actually. And so I was kind of expecting something similar, but NWA Prepper invited basically the Northwest Arkansas group to come, and we did, in large numbers, show up, which was kind of neat because, you know, this event was not for us. And it was huge. It was huge. When we came around the corner to the venue, which was the church, the LDS church, which was huge. I mean, it was like the size of a shopping mall, like a mega church. I didn't know the Mormons had mega churches, but it was big. I'll talk a little bit louder. It's windy out here. Came around the corner. It was just parking lots full of cars already, and we were a little bit early. They had staff, probably from the church, but organized. Handling parking, radios, vest, coordination, leadership. You could see leaders walking around. I submit it was a very good exercise for the church to put on, just for themselves, as far as organizing and logistics and yada yada. And as we showed up, there were all these booths set up outside of all kinds of things. And I saw armored vehicles. You know, this is just my first impression when we got out of the car. I saw armored vehicles. And a helicopter was coming in as we came in. And we had driven for a while, and I was kind of coffeeed up, so I needed to download some of that coffee. And I didn't see any porta potties. And they had, as you walk in from the parking lot, you know, just the way everybody walked, and there were people guiding people. So again, really good logistics. I know we're going to get to the story. You want to hear this, though, right? There was an information booth run by some people, and they gave you a bag and all these flyers to stick in there, and they talked to you. And I said, hey, where are the bathrooms? And she said, oh, just go in the building, and they're to the right. So we went in the church, and big bathrooms. And the church was full of booths, which is what the first LDS Prepper Expo I'd gone to. Everything was inside in the church, just kind of around, and it was run mostly in that time by Mormon members. In this case, it was all inside community service type organizations. Red Cross was in there. Had a great talk with a guy about New Madrid. And I said, you know, I'm on the internet, and I talk about it a fair bit, and everyone says I'm going to get wiped out. And I showed him on the map, I live here, and I tell people it's not going to be a problem. What's the truth? He goes, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. And so we talked a while. He was cool. They had Coast Guard Auxiliary there. They had, oh man, they had a lot of stuff that I totally wasn't interested in. They had food stamps people. They had Child Protective Services people. They had, I don't know, you know, that social welfare kind of stuff. They all had booths. And then on one table, it said HSI, and it had posters of a boat, speedboat going through the water, and they had these guys sitting there in like 511 khakis and polo shirts, having a great time just telling each other war stories behind their table. And on their table was a set of body armor with the mag carriers on it, and a cool helmet with, you know, a PVS 7 on it and stuff. And all the other tables have been giving away like pencils and stickers and magnets. I said, y'all giving this away? And then I talked to them for a while, and I said, what do you guys do? And they're Homeland Security investigations, kind of like the FBI for Homeland Security, which to me seems very redundant, but, you know, whatever. So we did all that. then we went outside, and they had I've been out of the military for a while. They had what looked like a Transformer Humvee. They had a Humvee the SWAT team had painted black and white, and then next to it they had, if you take a Humvee and expand it in every option and lift it up about 4 feet, but really the interior capacity of it, not that much bigger than a Humvee, like 4 seats in the thing, and then a back little cargo area, armored like you wouldn't believe, cupola in it, big tires, V-bottom, for mines and stuff. That was cool, and they had a gear layout there, and I talked to those fellows. Sister Kate talked to them a lot. Blah, 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 blah. Walked around. Northwest Arkansas Prepper had his booth set up there, and that's kind of where we, the Vikings and others, all congregated right around there and chatted. And so it was a good time. Yeah, it was a really good time. Spent from like 9 till 1 there. But it was a fairly long drive. It was all day out on concrete in the heat. And when we came home, I needed a nap. Which, the Father commands you to rest on the 7th day. So it's kind of like a command to take a nap. So I was sleepy, and I went in, and I laid down on my bed, and I was just wearing a pair of shorts at that point. And I'm laying there, and I fell asleep very quickly. Boom. And about a half hour later, this fly wakes me up. It's like lands on my shoulder, and I'm like, lands on my shoulder, lands on my leg, and I'm like, ah. And it keeps doing it. Right as I fall asleep, this fly lands on me. So we have this little battery-powered fan, and I reach over, I grab that, because my wife keeps it on her side of the bed. She was doing something else at this point. I turn on the fan, I set it on the pillow, so it's like blowing across my body to make an environment not suitable for this fly, right? And I go back to sleep, because I don't want to wake up too much, or I'll just get up. So I'm kind of in that half-sleep state. And I fall asleep, the fan's got that nice white noise. Fly comes back. So we don't make our bed on Shabbat, and so the bedclothes are all kicked down at the bottom of the bed, and I grab the sheet, and I'm like, woof, and I put the sheet on me so that the fly can't land on anywhere on my body, right? And it's just a sheet, so it's not hot. So now I've got the fan going, I've got this light sheet on me, and I'm like, good, I can go back to sleep. As soon as I fall back asleep, and I'm like, come on, man. And I tried putting something on my head, but it was too hot. And so I took it off, and that fly just kept landing on me. And so finally, I got up, and I have a fly swatter in my house, and I got the fly swatter, and I lay back down, and I killed that fly and 3 others. That, I thought it was one fly. There's about 3 flies in there. And then I went back to sleep, because I guess I killed all the flies. And that's the story. What's the word, grok? Can you grok the lessons? Sometimes one just wants to be left alone, to sleep, as it were. And one's not bothering anybody. And one decides to lay down in their little peaceful place, experience the shalom of sweet rest, and flies start buzzing around. And so the first thing one decides is that, hey, let's just live and let live. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll all be good. But they don't stop, those flies. They keep disturbing the shalom. And so one takes, active measures to change the environment so that the flies don't want to buzz around. In this case, I turned on the fan. But the flies work their way through that. And so then one takes, more defensive measures, adds on to the defense, and In this case, I spread a sheet over top of me to deny the flies access. They kept coming. They kept coming. And sometimes, to maintain the shalom, you gotta schwack some flies. That's the lesson. Where else could you apply that lesson? All right, I'll see you out there.